Hello, I'm Melissa Thorpill with the virtual VA IT campus, and I welcome you to Veterans Today, an ITWD original series. Here at VA, we focus on our veterans every day. So in this multi-part series, we will be highlighting veterans and veteran service organizations, and we'll conduct a couple of panel discussions. Today's session is on veteran service organizations, the American Legion Auxiliary. I recently had the pleasure of interviewing several leaders at the Department of Virginia American Legion Auxiliary Leadership Conference held at American Legion Post number 53 in Front Royal, Virginia. During my visit, I enjoyed a walkthrough of the post while our host explained the rich history there and how they serve our veterans, veterans' families, and their local communities. Welcome to Veteran Service Organization, the American Legion Auxiliary. I'm Melissa Thorpill, and joining me in this studio today is Angela. Welcome, Angela.
Hi, I'm Angela DeSura, the Director of IT Workforce Development. I also have the privilege of serving as a volunteer on my own time as the American Legion Auxiliary, Department of Virginia Northern Zone Vice President. Also joining us today is Haley.
Hey everybody, I'm Haley Hoffman, your social engagement specialist. Before we get started, I see in the chat, this is just a great note to kick us off. Kenneth says, as the post commander here in Martinsburg, the auxiliary is our backbone. Thanks for everything they do. So that's really great. Thanks, Kenneth. Okay, so we'd like to have you answer a quick poll question. Our question is, do you think you know the mission of the American Legion Auxiliary? Your choices are A, yes, B, no, or C, not sure. We're going to give you 1 minute to respond by using the poll window and selecting the radio button that works best for you. Please start the timer now. All right, welcome back. Let's pull up those poll results. It looks like majority of you answered B, no, you don't think you know the mission of the American Legion Auxiliary, but we do have 8 of you who answered yes, and 6 who aren't sure. So great poll results here. Thank you for your participation, and I'll go ahead and toss it over to Melissa and Angela.
So today we're going to be discussing the impact the American Legion Auxiliary has on veterans, veterans' families, and their local communities. A few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to interview a group of women attending a leadership conference at American Legion Post 53 in Front Royal, Virginia. The Department of Virginia Auxiliary President Sally Rossman explains the auxiliary's mission.
I joined to serve and to make sure that everyone understood what the American Legion Auxiliary mission was, which is to serve and to honor our service members, our active duty service personnel, and the children and their families.
So now we all know what the American Legion Auxiliary's mission is and how they help veterans, veterans' families, and their communities. So, Angela, the American Legion Auxiliary is not your grandmother's auxiliary. Can you tell us a little bit about today's American Legion Auxiliary?
Sure. Well, I'll give you a little bit of history, and then I'll get you up to current date. The American Legion Auxiliary was founded in 1919 by our American Legion counterparts. This is our Legionnaire family members who were founded to provide a service to veterans as they return from war, and to provide social services, to provide, help for their families and do things like that. In 1919, the Legion asked for the establishment of the auxiliary to help with the initiatives, to deal with some of the family issues, to deal with some of the community issues, to help foster and perpetuate that Americanism and keep the honor and the dignity that our veterans deserve alive and well in our communities. To current day, we morph with the organization. We're certainly not where we were 100 years ago. I mean, the American Legion Auxiliary is coming up on its centennial anniversary. So 100 years is a long time ago. With the advancements of technology, research done by the VA facilities, the work that we do, the auxiliary mission and the Legion mission and, those of other veteran service organizations have to morph to accommodate that. With mobile technologies becoming available today, we're able to get the word out faster. We're able to meet more. We're able to do a lot more things for the support of those veterans, the families, and the communities.
And now female veterans can join on their own right, correct?
That is correct. Female veterans can join the auxiliary on their own right. They just have to meet the same eligibility requirements that they would do as if they became a Legionnaire. Dual membership is obviously a great thing to have, is to be recognized as a Legionnaire and as an auxiliary member. But yes, as long as you meet your eligibility requirements, women veterans can join the auxiliary.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
So while at the leadership conference, I asked Darla, Cheryl, and Peggy why they volunteer with the American Legion Auxiliary.
My name is Darla Lisbon, and I'm a member of Unit 77 in Strasburg. I've been a member for 15 years. I am the department board chairman this year, which is quite an honor. My dad was a veteran. My fiance is a veteran, and so this organization is near and dear to my heart to provide for those who provided for us.
I'm Cheryl Shine. I am the department's Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation chairman this year. And I joined the auxiliary because I come from a long history and family line of veterans, including my husband.
My name is Peggy Thomas. I'm a past national president. I was national president in 2012, 2013, 800,000 women. And the reason that I joined the American Legion Auxiliary is because I have 7 brothers, and they were all in different branches of service. I was married to an Army veteran, and he was active in the American Legion, and he worked at McGuire VA.
So I don't know about you, Angela, but hearing that Peggy had 7 brothers serving our country, that's truly amazing to me. I thought having my father, my brother, and myself in uniform at the same time was something, but Peggy's family truly knows the meaning of sacrifice and service to this great country. So my mother spent several years with the auxiliary in my hometown, and I know she kept very busy, and I know the effect her work had on our veterans, their families, and our community. So I asked Amanda and Ann to share some examples of how their volunteer work has positively impacted veterans, their families, and their communities.
I know some of the older veterans, they go and do their yard work, help them stuff around the house that they can't do anymore. We do stuff for the community like coat drives, SPCA donations.
I feel very strongly about our VA hospitals. I have been volunteering at the VA hospital since 1990, and I have seen the smiles on their faces to see us there and to be able to participate in a lot of different recreational events for them. And since I have retired 3 years ago, I started projects with my friends in my unit with crocheting and sewing. And we've been able to touch veterans who are homeless in our community through the local churches with handmade hats and scarves. We are touching our babies at 2 local military hospitals with baby blankets. And so we are getting to see more in the community and how we can really help them.
So there are so many things that people can do in ways that people can serve our veterans. And it's easy to help out just by mowing a yard, shoveling some snow, cleaning some windows, or cutting back some shrubbery to help keep our veterans safe. Of course, the next logical question was, what project was their favorite? So as busy as this group of ladies is, there were many favorites.
I was asked to think about the wounded and injured coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan, the young 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds who come back with absolutely none of their civilian belongings, and let that be a project of the VA&R program. To help that situation, I launched a program called the Angels of Mercy, and I've been providing personal comfort items, food items, whatever is needed to the veterans that I mentioned before and their family members.
My special project as department president is Reboot Combat Recovery. Reboot is a program that was instituted at Fort Campbell in Kentucky, and it is now spread across the United States. And these are Legionnaires and veterans that are helping their comrades that have come back with any problem, PTSD or anything else. And they have created small communities or farms where they go even once a week. Their families can come with them, their wives and their children. And they're talking and they're working with the same comrades that have been through what they have, survived it, and come back to live a normal life.
So I'm always impressed with the level of volunteerism I come in contact with. And all of these ladies are from Virginia, as you know, but I'm sure the American Legion Auxiliary in your area has many causes that will speak to you if you reach out to them. So, how do you become a member of the American Legion Auxiliary, a group of over 800,000 powerhouse women across the U.S.?
One becomes a member by being connected with someone who has served the country during times. We're commissioned by Congress, and so these times are specific times, and they're usually times of war or conflict. And you need to be related directly to somebody, such as a wife. You could be that person also and join. We have female veterans, and that's a real blessing to us now that they join. And we can have their daughters, their granddaughters, their sisters, mothers of women or men who have served.
So, Angela, Susan did a great job explaining that. And in fact, as you know, that Saturday, I filled out an application to become a member of the American Legion Auxiliary Post 53, which took all of about 5 minutes, maybe. So I think it's time for a chat question. We'd like for you to chat in your response to this question. If you volunteer, what group or groups do you volunteer with and why? Let's see all those causes that are near and dear to your heart. We're going to give you 2 minutes to respond by replying in the chat window. Please start that timer now.
Haley, we can't wait to find out why people volunteer and with what groups. You know, one of the things that's key to remember about volunteering is, you know, the American Legion Auxiliary is near and dear to my heart, but there are many other volunteer service organizations and veteran service organizations. You have your VFWs, your Disabled American Veterans, the Veterans, Vietnam Veterans of America. All of those organizations have auxiliaries that do support their main cause of their organizations. As the auxiliary members, we obviously support our Legionnaire partners and our family members. So, you know, any volunteer organization or veteran service organization is a wonderful way of reaching out and to pay homage and honor those veterans that have fought so valiantly for us.
Absolutely.
So, Haley, will you share a few of those responses with us?
All right, absolutely. We have some great responses in here. So a lot of what I'm seeing, homeless veterans stand down, homeless veteran food pantry, these are great. Lou, who is in the virtual campus here with us today, says he coaches a team that competes in American Legion rifle competitions. Really cool. USO Fort Belvoir Family and Warrior Center. County Homeland Security and Emergency Management. And then, let's see, we also had Russell had a really great chat response in here. Let's see if I can find that. Russell says, church. Me and my wife visit senior living homes and provide short service communion and lots of music for their ears and soul. Why? Because I get great satisfaction in seeing them each month. So I really liked that one. Thank you, Russell. So great chat responses, and I'll go ahead and toss it back over to Angela and Melissa.
So those were some great organizations and reasons for volunteering. It was actually pretty motivating to me. What do you think, Angela?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, you know, anything that you could do to volunteer, to give a little bit of yourself back, it is very motivating. You know, we often, as VA employees, get caught up in the day-to-day business. And when you take the time out to give a little bit back and to interact with those people and to hear their stories and hear the things that they've gone through and come up with programs that we could do to help support them and give them the help that they need, it is a great motivating factor. I mean, it helps me on my day-to-day job. It just reminds me why I'm here and why I'm doing what I'm doing. As so many of you who have demonstrated that you do volunteer on a regular basis.
Well, it just gives everybody a warm and fuzzy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when I go out and I just help somebody because I want to help somebody, it's just a nice feeling.
Yeah.
So Now we have come to the question and answer part of today's session. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you 2 minutes to type in any questions you have for Angela, either in the chat window, or if you'd like your questions to be anonymous, you can enter them into the Ask the Presenter window. So go ahead and please start that timer now.
All right, welcome back. So we have a ton of great questions coming in to Ask the Presenter. Thank you to everybody who's submitting questions. Our first question here came in anonymously. Will this session be available to download? I am the post commander for the Legion here in Martinsburg and would like to share with my membership. Angela?
Actually, yes. We are actually going to be able to put this out on YouTube, and we will be putting it here in the on-demand session here in the virtual IT campus. So, yes, it will be available for other VA staff, and it will be available on YouTube. And once that link is available, we will share it with everybody.
Shouldn't be too far away. Haley, our next question.
All right, thank you. So our next question, what are the ALA membership eligibility requirements?
Okay, the eligibility requirements are mandated by Congress. To see all of the eligibility information, best bet is to go to www.alaforveterans.org. Melissa, you just joined. You want to share your personal experience on the application process?
No pressure, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, as you know, I had to fill out an application and submit my DD-214 to show my credentials. I mean, it was short and sweet, and as I mentioned earlier, it was only about 5 minutes. So it was actually really easy. So
thank you for becoming 800,001.
Thank you. Haley, other questions?
All right, our next question, how long has Angela been a member of the auxiliary?
I've actually been a member of the American Legion Auxiliary, an active member, for about 6 years. I did grow up in the American Legion family in a small town called East Liverpool, Ohio. My father was a veteran. I have 8 uncles that were veterans.
Wow.
I went to American Legion Auxiliary Girls State. So I grew up in the American Legion, but became an active member about 6 years ago.
Now, there is a thing called Membership for Life, correct?
Yes, there is. It is called Paid Up for Life. PUFL is the acronym we use for it. And what they do is they calculate your membership dues from your current age on an expected life expectancy, and then you are paid up, and you can enjoy the benefits, and you can volunteer as much as you want. I am actually a PUFL. It was given to me as a Christmas gift. So, I will be with the auxiliary for a long time to come. One of the key things to remember to keep organizations like the American Legions going and the American Legion Auxiliaries going, yes, we've made it almost 100 years. But, as the generations go on, bringing younger people in here, bringing new people in there with new innovative ideas is what's going to keep those organizations alive and strong and keep doing the great work that they've done.
Agreed, except I'm not one of those younger people. So safe to assume that at my age, since I'm older than you are, my paid up for life membership would actually be pretty economical at this point.
Sure.
Thanks for letting me know that.
You're welcome.
Haley, what's our next question?
All right, our next question, what does the auxiliary do?
Well, auxiliaries, what don't we do? We do everything from doing benefit meals to sports activities to other things. But let me give you some high-level estimates and some things that we do. Last year, we contributed $36 million towards veterans and military families. We volunteered 8 million hours to support veterans programs. We contribute more than $2 million to programs benefiting children and youth. We volunteered 630,000 hours for active duty military.
And that's every year?
That's every year. That was last year's snapshot. So, a lot of great work there. And, there's a lot of misconceptions about the American Legion Auxiliary, the Sons of the American Legion, the whole American Legion family, and a lot of veteran service organizations, that it's just a social place. There is a lot of work going on behind the scenes that are really beneficial to a lot of organizations. So, participating in and joining in is phenomenal. And, if you don't know it, call your local organizations and find out all of the great and hard work they do.
That's an amazing annual statistic.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure everybody realized that was annual. So, Haley, next question.
All right, thanks. These are great questions coming in. We have another one here. How can one locate an American Legion Auxiliary chapter in their area?
If you go to the ALA for vets.org, email it, or URL I gave you, sorry about that, there's a locator in there, and it will give you a directory state by state and let you know where your closest unit will be, or there's a phone number on there that if you call them, they will direct you to your department level, which will then direct you to the local unit closest to you.
Good to know. Haley, next question.
All right, those were all the questions that we had. So thanks everybody for submitting those excellent questions, and I'll go ahead and toss it back over to Melissa and Angela.
Thanks, Haley. All right, so our last segment today is called Veterans Past, a review of military history-making events on a given day. Today is March 1st already. So on March 1st in 1864, President Lincoln nominates Ulysses S. Grant for the newly revived rank of Lieutenant General. In 1941, the U.S. Navy forms a support force for the Atlantic Fleet. The main part of this unit is made up from 3 destroyer squadrons of 27 ships. In 1942, the U-656 becomes the first German submarine of World War II to be sunk by naval air. In 1960, the Beaufort, South Carolina Auxiliary Air Station is redesignated as a Marine Corps Air Station. And in 2003, administrative control of the Coast Guard, Customs Service, and the United States Secret Service transfers to the newly created Department of Homeland Security. So hopefully we have inspired some of you to volunteer somewhere for a cause that speaks to you. Thanks to Angela and Haley for being here today. And of course, thanks to all of you for joining us and being actively engaged.
So I'd like to kind of put a challenge out there to anybody. We talked about the American Legion Auxiliary, which is something that's personal to me. I would like anybody that's out here in the audience today that if you belong to another veteran service organization that you would like to talk about, share with the audience the things and the purpose and the scope of your mission, please be in touch with us. We would love to bring you in here. We would love to share some of the work and some of the hard things that you do that a lot of people may not be aware of. To serve our veterans is probably one of the greatest things that we could possibly do. And to hear that from everybody, it would be truly astounding. So please reach out. And I really hope the rest of you have a great day. Have a good night.
The Virtual VA IT Campus, serving veterans through innovative learning and development solutions.
Our program has ended. Thank you for joining us.